All right, all right. Health is wealth, so take care of yourself. Greetings, one and all. Hope you had a prosperous day. Hope everything went well. Hope you're feeling well. Did you get in any exercise? What did you do mostly? Fruits, vegetables, a mixture? Try to do them separately. Try to do vegetables and try to give it 4 or 5 hours and then do fruit or vice versa. Fruit and 4 or 5 hours in vegetables. Try not to do them together. Okay. I know some people tell you to make drinks with vegetables and fruits together. I don't advise that. I advise fruits and vegetables. Also, try to do no more than 3 fruits, two preferably. One is even better. Okay. So if you're making some type of juice or smoothie, 2 fruits. One is even better. Okay. 3 is a bit much. That's why if you check out fruit punch, you'll notice it starts to be a little alcohol-y. You have to put something in there to stop it from turning into liquor. Good to see you, Pure Grow. Mono is the best, okay? And you can eat them, but mono is the best. Like get some cherries and eat cherries until you don't want any more. Get some peaches and eat peaches until you don't want any more. This is how we eat naturally. Okay? So you always want to go as close back to nature as possible. I learned that because I lived some years in Hawaii. And in Hawaii, we hunt, we used to hunt fruit. And basically, this is how you would eat. You would find a mango tree, you would get some mangoes, you'll go back to your little headquarters or home or whatever, your little spot, and then you would just eat mangoes. If you did have pineapples or something, you would never really eat the other ones if you were in nature. So if you were in nature, you would eat mono. This is a fact. Nobody can disprove that. You would eat mono. You wouldn't have a juicer and all that. So if you lived in nature, you would eat mono. This is how you would eat. Even if you had a variety of things, you would eat mono. Very seldom would you mix them. Even when I was growing up, and your mother goes to the store and she buys some oranges and she buys some grapes and she buys some plums, whichever one you grab first, after you eat that one, if it was good, and if you still wanted more fruit, you would go get another one of those. So if you started eating grapes, you would just keep eating grapes. You would not go in the kitchen and get grapes and really like them and then go get a plum. The only way it's possible that you would eat grapes and then go get a plum is if you didn't really like the grapes. Then yes. But typically, your natural self, you would eat mono. Meaning if you got an apple and you ate it and it was really good and you wanted some more, you would go get another apple. You wouldn't go get an orange. And I was born in 1958 and grew up where people bought lots of fruit. And that's how we ate, mono. No matter how much fruit was on the bowl, in the bowl, we ate mono. When I lived in Hawaii in nature, we ate mono. So that is the best way to eat. If you're eating watermelon, just eat watermelon. Don't eat no cherries with it. Then when you digest that watermelon after a few hours and you want to eat cherries, then eat cherries. This way your body can get everything out of the watermelon and everything out of the cherries. And you get them in their pure essence and you have no interference. Because when you mix it, you have some interference. Right? I mean, it's something that you do naturally, Danielle. It's what you would do naturally. You would go in the kitchen, you get a banana. If you eat the banana and it's really good, you're not thinking you're eating mono. You're just going to go back and do what? You're going to get another banana. That's what you do naturally. And when you live outside like I live, if you live in Hawaii and you go get a bunch of pineapples and they're good, that's what you eat. You eat the pineapples. We would have pineapples, mangoes, we'd have all this stuff, but whichever one I would eat first, I would eat that until I didn't want any more. I would never bounce around. In nature, when you're living naturally and you eat it and it tastes good, you want more of that. Only in these cities and in this artificial world do you bounce around. You would not do that in nature, especially with fruit. Yeah, that's how naturally. That's what I'm saying, Danielle. You did it naturally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not nothing you even think about. It's just what you do. You don't really think about it. It's just that's how we are. As a matter of fact, if you got a lot of different, if you got a lot of fruit in the house, and say you buy some grapes, say you got two children, an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old, and let's say the 8-year-old go get some grapes. Guess what the 7-year-old will go get? The 7-year-old will not go get a plum. The 7-year-old will not go get an orange. The 7-year-old will also go get grapes by nature. I grew up with a sister. She's a year younger than me. Whatever we were eating, we were both eating the same thing. Nobody told us. It's just how it works. So when you're eating fruit, eat it mono. These things are common sense. I don't try to be smart. I just try to do what nature tells me to do. And in nature, if you go by a mango tree, there's not going to be an apple tree over there. The apple tree is going to be somewhere else. The grapes are going to be somewhere else. And in nature, when you get the food, you eat it right then. You gather it and you eat some of it, and you might take some back to your headquarters. But in nature, you eat it all while you're getting it, and the trees are not close to each other. Like if you go to Florida and you go and there's oranges, it's an orange orchard, right? That's all it is. If you drive and you see corn, what do you see? Just corn. Even when you have a garden, you grow the corn together. You grow this together. You grow that together. You don't grow it all mixed. Typically, I mean, not that I know of. So eat mono. If you take 3 fruits and you put them, and let's say you smash them, a mango, some cherries, and an apple, and you put it in a cup, and you come back in an hour, you'll smell it turn into alcohol. You'll smell it clashing. You'll smell it. You'll smell it clash. They'll clash. Because if you got a lime and you got grapes, they don't really go together. They will clash. And so a lot of times when they put in a juicer or a blender, the blender blends the fumes out of it that it would create. And so when you drink it, it's kind of forced it together. But if you mix them together, will your body find what's in this and what's in that? Well, it's much easier for your body to find the nutrition in various things when you're eating vegetables than it is with fruit. And anytime you mix 3 or more fruits together, they will begin to ferment. They will begin to turn to alcohol. Next time you see a cocktail, this is why when they make fruit cocktail, you ever buy a can of fruit cocktail for your children? And when you open the can, what's in there? It's the fruit and what else? A syrup. And what's the syrup? The syrup is to keep the fumes down so it won't ferment, so it won't clash. So they pour a syrup in it to calm down the fumes off of the different fruits, or it'll make a mess. So it's kind of like they put a sedative in there, something like a goo for them to sit in so the fumes won't clash. The cherries is inside the syrup, so it can't go nowhere. The grapes is inside the syrup, so it can't go nowhere, because if they're just in there and they make their own juice, it won't be any good by the time you open it. It'll be horrible. Yeah, you open it, it'll be horrible. Basically poison. Think I'm lying? Go get some fruit cocktail and open it up. I bet it's in some syrup. It's in a syrup that was made separately. It's not in no syrup made from them fruits. It's in it's a third party that's in there to make sure that fruit keeps its smell and its essence within that syrup, or to make a mess. So tonight we're going to be talking about the worst food for your brain. Now, it's important for you to know that your body is moisture. Your body is moisture. Right? So you need to eat moisture. And moisture, you need to drink like coconut water, juice. All these things have water in them, but you need moisture. Okay? The body is moisture. The body's not dry. So You can't just eat dry stuff all the time. You have to eat moisture. Okay? The average human body is composed of roughly 55 to 78% water. This percentage varies based on factors like age, sex, and body composition. For example, infants have a higher percentage of water, 75 to 78, than adults, and men generally have a higher percentage than women. Okay, so you can see here infants 75 to 78, men 60%, women 50%. The percentage tends to decrease with age, particularly in those with obesity. And so when you're a man, if you can't keep up that 60% of moisture in your body, then you're going to have problems in the bed because you're going to be too dry. You're going to be dry. And you need to be moist. Naturally, when you get older, you dry up some. So then that's why your sex drive will have a tendency to not be the same as 18, 19, 28, 38, because you're drying out, right? So moisture is the key. And vegetables have lots of moisture, and fruit has lots of moisture. And that's the key. If you live in a place where you eat a lot of fruit, you don't have to drink as much water. And especially if you're drinking coconuts, because that's water that's been captured out of the ground and put into the coconut. But your brain needs moisture. Your brain is not dry. And so there are certain foods that are horrible for your brain. The worst foods for your brain are generally those high in sugar, unhealthy fats, and sodium, as well as those that are highly processed. These can lead to inflammation, oxidative stress, and cognitive decline. Specific examples include sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates, fried foods, and ultra-processed foods. Sugary drinks, beverages like soda, energy drinks, and sweetened coffees are loaded with sugar, which can lead to insulin resistance and inflammation, negatively impacting cognitive function. Refined carbohydrate foods like white bread, pastries, and white rice are processed and quickly converted to sugar in the body, causing blood sugar spikes and crashes, which can lead to brain fog and impaired cognitive function. Fried foods, these are often high in unhealthy fats, particularly trans fats, which can contribute to inflammation and brain damage. Highly processed foods, a wide variety of foods, including chips, cookies, frozen meals, and fast food, fall into this category. They are often high in unhealthy fats, sugar, salt, and additives, all of which can negatively affect brain health. Alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption can damage brain cells and impaired cognitive function, including memory and judgment. Foods high in sodium, excessive alcohol consumption. But foods high in sodium is excessive sodium intake can lead to hypertension. So when you see alcohol, you see the word excessive. When you see foods high in sodium, you see excessive. In other words, people are overdoing these things, okay? People are overdoing it, okay? So foods high in sodium, excessive sodium intake can lead to hypertension, which may contribute to dementia. Artificial sweeteners, while often used as a sugar substitute, artificial sweeteners like aspartame have been linked to cognitive decline and memory problems. You see? Saturated fats. Saturated fats. No good. Foods like red meat and full fatty dairy products, which are high in saturated fats, have been associated with brain damage and cognitive decline. Processed meats, food like hot dogs and sausages, often high in saturated fat, sodium, and nitrates, can negatively impact brain health. Not to mention those nitrates are sometimes cancer causing. Mercury containing fish. Certain fish, especially larger, older fish, can contain high levels of mercury, which can be toxic to the brain. One of the problems with fish is how polluted the ocean is. And so all the nuclear waste, and some people say from Fukushima in Japan and all of that, is damaging the fish. So these things are really not good for your brain. Not at all. And you can't expect an industry that makes money to tell you to stop using what they sell to make money. You also can't expect people that like what they eat to go against what they like. And people have a tendency to try to find information to fit what they want to do so that they can ignore any information that goes against what they want to do. So they will fight hard to find something positive about what they're doing, even if there's overwhelming evidence that what they're doing is not good for them. And so anytime you're living in a society that's making money, you better think for yourself. And there's no excuse, because all you have to do is look in the hospitals and look at society, and you're just fooling yourself, you know. You're just fooling yourself. If you're consuming certain types of things, and you're not looking at the evidence, you're not looking at the hospital, you're not looking at the mortality, you're not looking at the obesity, you're only fooling yourself. Because when you look at society, society is sick. And so there's no way you could say, well, everybody's eating like this. But you look at everybody and you'll see society is sick. There's an obesity problem, diabetes, pre-diabetes in children, pre-diabetes in adults, amputations every few seconds, stroke, heart attacks, every cancer you could think of. And that's based off of what everybody's eating. So there's no way you can look and see all these sick people and think that what everybody's eating is something right with it. You're only fooling yourself. And very few people can monitor, can, what I want to use the word, very few people can regulate eating this stuff and survive. Very few people can regulate how much cookies and candy they eat. Luther Vandross used to say he'd have a bag of Snickers by his bedstand at night, the little ones, and he would just keep eating them until he fall asleep and then wake up and be eating them during the day till the bag is gone. And so when you look at the food and you look at the lack of control, come on. When you look at sugar and you think about the lack of control with sugar, you know you can't be eating all that sweet stuff like that. You know that stuff is addictive. And when you look at the processed food and then you look at society, if you don't make an effort, how are you going to get off processed food when there's processed food, fast food restaurants everywhere and you hungry, you need a snack. You go in the gas station, you need some Fritos, you need a bag of chips, you need a juice out there, you need a soda. So how are you going to avoid that unless you cut that stuff all together so you have some discipline? Because if you don't cut that stuff, you ain't going to have no discipline with that stuff. Not when it's everywhere like that. The only way you can survive is that you don't mess with it. So when I go in the gas station, there's no temptation because when I walk in there, I already know I don't eat none of this. I don't eat any of this. There's no need of me walking down the aisles if I go to 7-Eleven, and there ain't no need of me walking around in here. There's nothing in here for me unless I go and get some nuts with some sea salt on them. That's it. There's nothing in there. Nothing. There's nothing to drink in the cooler. There's nothing in there. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. If you realize how many places you go that's got stuff to eat and drink, how much there is absolutely nothing in there of any value. Tons and tons and tons of food and drinks that's not worth anything. When you go like in a Walgreens or a CVS, there's nothing in there. You're looking at 1% maybe and 99% trash. Even when you go to a grocery store, when I go to a grocery store, there's really nothing in there to eat. Not really. The whole store is trash. I have to go to the fruit and vegetable section. That's it. I can go to the beans and rice section and get some wild rice or some beans. That's it. All that stuff to drink is loaded with sugar. All the juice is loaded with sugar. Loaded. If I get a Minute Maid or lemon lime out of there, that's going to be once a year. I can't drink all that sugar. I used to try to get that stuff and put ginger in it and stuff. And one day I read it. I said, "Oh, they crazy." I mean, I was excited they had cane sugar in it. But when I looked and seen how much it was, I said, "Wow." Interesting. So I said I was pre-diabetic at one point. I wore a CGM, continuous glucose monitor. It changed my life. It lets you see how food impacts your blood glucose levels in real time. That's great. Much respect, Russ. So, I got Ross over here, and, as a Rasta man, one of our main things was ital is vital. But down in Jamaica, the elders start slipping. By the time you got to the 90s, they started to call all different type of stuff ital, red snapper, and they began to slack. And then it ended up with a lot of sick rosters. And they began to want to figure out how can they get health care for the rosters. The rosters needed health care because some of them, they didn't want to let the red snapper alone. They didn't want to leave certain things alone. And the health plummeted. They began to drink the sweet drinks that you get in the store in Jamaica. I remember one time watching a protest, I think, when they cut the young sister's dreads down at the police station. And I seen the roster with a big old thing of some blue stuff he bought out the store. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So the whole ital is vital, that went away. You don't really hear that too much. They started calling debtors, what we used to call debtors, they began to call ital. Any animal, we called it debtors. A fish was debtors. They began to be more Caribbean than Rasta, like more Trinidadian than Rasta, more Jamaican than Rasta, and doing Jamaican traditions. So, like for me, there's no way I could have ate better if I was Black American, because Black American is pork and barbecue and chicken. So I had to reject Black American eating culture totally. Bunch of salt, bunch of chicken and all that. You understand? That's good, Derek. The key to eating better is very simple. If you don't really look at it as dangerous, you can't do it. The key to eating better is to know for a fact it will hurt you. And so anybody that's messing around, they don't really believe is hurting them. So some people try to change the way they eat, like from the mentality, like somebody told them to eat better and they're trying to eat better. But see, somebody like me, people will say, well, Phil, would you go back and eat? I'll give you an example. I was in the county jail for 4 months. And of course, when I went to the county jail, I wasn't able to get good food. And so in there, I had to eat whatever they were serving. But I didn't eat the meat. I picked the meat out of my food. But I was eating cheese, cereal with cow's milk, white bread. I don't know what kind of bread it was. It wasn't no really good whole wheat bread with cheese, sandwiches, potato chips, and all that stuff. When I got out, people always ask me, did I still miss that food? You got to understand, the whole time I was eating it, I was knowing it is deadly. So when I got out, it wasn't no thing like I'm going to keep eating this. I'm only eating this because I'm a prisoner of war. This is trash. I just got to eat it. I never got out and now I like this stuff because it's not based. I don't eat off my taste buds. I eat off based off my health. I'm not trying to eat this garbage. I'm trying to eat good food. So unless you really look at it as garbage, you're going to keep eating it. Unless you really look like this is damaging my kidneys. This is cancerous. Because if it's cancerous, how long is it going to take you to get off of it? Until you get the cancer? If you're eating food that might be carcinogenic and might be cancerous, how long are you going to eat that? We talk about you trying to eat better. But at the same time, you're not focusing on, you do know your body not going to wait till you change. You do know this is depleting you now. So if you don't really believe that 100%, you're not going to be able to go plant-based, and you're not going to stay plant-based. You cannot stay plant-based just trying to do something without really believing this is no good. It's impossible. There's no way you could do it. When they have people that are alcoholics or people that have addictions to substances, the only way they ever go straight and clean up is when they really believe it's killing them. As long as they try to stop drinking, but they don't believe it's killing them for real and they want to live, they'll always be an alcoholic. You show me somebody to keep drinking and this is a non-believer. This is a person that don't really believe they might go to sleep and not wake up the next day. They're kind of playing with it. So many times these people go in and out to rehab until the ones that clean up is when it gets so bad that they finally realize, hey, I'm not going to be here for my children or nothing. If I got to stop. But the ones that's kind of like trying to do it, but don't really believe it's deadly, they can't do it. So if you're trying to change the way you eat and you don't really believe artificial flavors, artificial color preservatives are really damaging, and if you don't really believe that this could cause you some long-term problems, you ain't going to be able to do it. You ain't going to be able to do it. Because you can't do it with the mindset you're trying to be healthy. You got to do it with the mindset, this is totally unhealthy. And then when you realize this is totally unhealthy and you don't want to be totally unhealthy, there's only one thing left. You can't do it like, oh, I want to eat healthy. That's not going to get it. Because you might want to eat healthy, but you don't 100% believe that this is unhealthy. So you're going to go back and eat it. You're going to go back and eat it. But you can't expect somebody making money off of something to tell you their product is unhealthy. So they're going to sell it to you. They're going to keep selling this stuff until so many people get sick in the country, they have to do something. They've made changes in Europe, but America's hard at it. America's greedy for money. And so the key to being healthy and the key to getting off of certain things is to face the facts, do the research and face the facts. It's a matter of life and death in many cases. You're overweight. You're not going to lose the weight until you realize that being overweight is a serious problem and that you want to live. You don't want to get diabetes. You don't want to lose your kidney. You don't want to get nothing amputated. You don't want to have a stroke. You don't want to have a heart attack. You don't want cancer. Until you absolutely don't want that, there's no way to do it. There's no way to do it. My I've been like this now for 48 years. I've been plant-based. Why? I know for a fact that stuff ain't no good. It's not like maybe. So when I was in jail for 4 months waiting to go to trial to beat my case because it was some nonsense, I also knew this ain't going to kill me in just this 1, 2, 3, 4 months. I knew it wouldn't kill me. But I still kept it down as clean as I can get it. And as soon as I got out, why would I eat that? I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It was just survival. I didn't like that stuff. Why I like something that ain't no good, ain't got no nutrition in it? You're not eating just to chew. You're eating for nutritional value to stay alive. You're not eating just to chew stuff and put garbage in your body. That's why I don't drink alcohol. Because people that drink alcohol are the worst. As soon as I know you drink, I don't want to be around you. Because you drink and you all obnoxious. You start babbling. You might say anything, but you're a drunk. You have no self-control. So what value do you have? What value do you bring to my life to be bothered with? You can't even control yourself. You drinking your own kidney. You destroying your own kidney. You're gonna be on dialysis. What am I listening to you for? When you wanna feel like one way, drunks. People that drink, they say this now, they do this later, this there. No consistency in their lives. They don't care about their own life. They're alcoholics that don't want to go and get off alcohol. They need to go to AA and get off of it. You know what I'm saying? Same for people that use substance abuse. They need to go get off of it. You want to live or you don't. And so this food is not good for your body. It's not good for your brain. It's not. Look, sugary beverages. Why it's bad? These drinks spike your blood sugar, leading to inflammation in the brain and increasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Emotional impact. You feel temporarily energized but crash quickly, emotionally and physically. Try this instead. Infuse water with lemon, cucumber, and berries. Trans fats. Why is bad? Artificial trans fats restrict blood to the brain and reduce cognitive performance. Emotional impact. Regular consumption may lead to poor memory and mood swings. Try this instead. Choose healthy fats like avocados, nuts, and olives. Refined carbs. Why is it bad? These have high glycemic index that causes brain fog and energy crashes. Emotional impact. You feel full, but concentration and alert suffers. He said, Farrell, when my wife was on dialysis, there was a man on the dialysis machine getting his blood cleaned and eating Bojangles with a large soda all at the same time. Exactly, bro. Exactly. He's addicted. He's addicted, and he's ready to leave. He wants to stick with that. He's ready to check out. He doesn't want to live. He doesn't want to die, but he doesn't want to live either. Highly processed food, frozen meals, instant noodles. Why is it bad? Loaded with additives, preservatives, and salt that damage brain cells over time. Emotional impact. Processed foods are linked with anxiety and depression. Try this instead. Freshly cooked meals using simple ingredients. Aspartame and artificial sweeteners. Aspartame may interfere with neurotransmitters, leading to headaches, anxiety, and sleep disorders. Emotional impact. Long term use can disrupt emotional stability and cognitive response. Try this instead. Use natural sweeteners, but don't use stevia. If you got to use raw honey, use maple syrup. Stevia can sometimes cause heart palpitations and make your heart. Some people, that's why a lot of the plant based protein powders say no stevia. You know what I'm saying? I avoid stevia because it's been reported there's some problems with it, even though it's from a plant. But poison ivy is a plant. While stevia is generally considered safe, some individuals may experience side effects or have concern about its use. These include potential gastrointestinal issues like bloating and nausea, as well as the possibility of low blood pressure and allergic reaction. Additionally, some studies suggest stevia could affect gut bacteria, and when combined with other sweeteners like erythritol, has been linked to increased risk of heart attack and stroke. So I don't trust stevia. A lot of people that work out don't use it. You know what I'm saying? So they try to show it's natural, but like I said, just because it's a plant, that doesn't mean it's healthy. Okay, we're eating the healthy plants. Poison ivy is a plant. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not like every plant. There's toxic plants. So we're looking for the healthy stuff. We not just care just because it's a plant. What kind of plant is it? Alcohol. Why is bad? Excessive alcohol consumption reduces brain volume and can lead to long term memory issues. Emotional impact. Even moderate drinking can lead to anxiety, depression, and reduce decision making ability. Try this instead. Limit intake to social occasions or opt for mocktails and herbal teas. Fried food. Why it's bad? Deep fried snacks are high in unhealthy fats that impair brain function and lead to inflammation. Emotional impact can cause sluggishness and reduce productivity. Try this instead. Bake or air fry your meals using healthy oils. The problem with air fryers is that air fryers got a whole bunch of plastic in them. I threw mine in the garbage. You got to go find a stainless steel air fryer. You can't have all that heat and that plastic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting ready to get another one. I got to get another one. I got to get a stainless steel air fryer. I don't want no plastic air fryer. I don't want no plastic on it at all. I don't want no plastic on the inside or none of that. I don't want no plastic. I don't want heat and plastic. Some of this stuff is just common sense. So I'm going to order this one, I think. Okay? I want all steel in the inside. Stainless steel. I don't want no plastic up in there. I had one I never used, and it sat there for about 2 years. And when I found out about the plastic, I thought, and I said, that's why I never really used that thing. I know it was a reason I didn't use it. It was because it didn't look right. It wasn't. It just didn't look right to me. It didn't look appealing. I'm like, I didn't like the plastic. Monk fruit is just not no sweetener at all. I got some monk fruit in there right now, and it's like you might as well not use nothing. I got a big bag of it. I need to throw it away. It's probably too old. You don't taste. You know how much monk fruit you got to put in something to get a little sweetener. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's not sweet at all. And I'm like, this is too much monk fruit to get this to taste right. So I wasn't comfortable with it. You know, Imhotep. Imhotep, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? If you used it, would you tell them? Tell them how much monk fruit you got to use to get your tea to have a little sweeten to it. You would not believe, y'all. Like, you got to. I'm like, wait a minute. You got to use a lot because it's not really that sweet. It's a light sweetener, real light. You know, you might as well just drink it plain. I got a bag of it in there. I need to throw it in the garbage. I can't dump all this in here to get no tasting and stuff. I like maple syrup because it comes from a tree. Now, I don't know if that makes any type of sense. Yeah, I use maple syrup. I got a friend and she don't use no sweetener. She always get on my case. Say, don't use no sweetener. Don't use no sweetener. She like to drink it plain. I don't know. I mean, it's. I guess it's there. It might do a little something. Yeah, it might do a little something, but I feel like I got to use too much. The real thing is adjust your taste buds pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But I've been plant based 48 years, and so I like my tea sweet because I barely drink it. And so I barely eat sweet. So when it is sweet, it won't do nothing to me. That's why I try to tell my friend I eat fruit this sweet. My vegetables don't be sweet at all. And I don't eat candy. I don't eat donuts. I don't eat all that stuff. So some sweet tea is nothing. That ain't nothing. I used to eat now laters. I used to eat candy. I was a regular black American. So some maple syrup and some tea ain't nothing compared to three Dunkin' Donuts and the stuff we used to see, Fruit Loops and all that. This is light. That's light work. That's light work compared to Coca-Cola and all that stuff, ice cream and all that stuff we used to eat. Date syrup is cool, but I don't know. I be going by some cosmic stuff, and I was like, okay, date syrups come from date, but I'm like, maple syrup come out of a tree, and a tree is strong. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the concept I use. Like a maple tree, it's a tree. Okay, let me get this sweet up out the tree. I don't know. Usually I'd be right, but I don't find out for years later. It'd be 5 years from now before they'll say something that'll catch up with me. Yeah. They try to put you on diabetic meds. I understand. So I ain't never been on none of that. I've been plant based. I've been plant based 48 years. I went plant based early. I've been plant based since 1978, so I never had a chance to get sick. I was just a shorty. I was only 20 years old. So I never got a chance to get sick. And I went plant based. So I've never had no problems with no sugar, no type of diabetes, no nothing. Because I was still a baby. And I changed early before anything gave me any problems. And then when you plant based for long periods of time, you will not stick with any regimen. You won't stick with anything. I've eaten over these 47 years, I've eaten so many different ways. So you'll go through your phase, you're eating this, and next thing you know, eating that. And then moving changes too, depending on where you live at. And you just go through phases. So, I lived in Hawaii, I ate one way. I lived in LA, I ate a different way. I lived in Chicago at one time, I ate one way. Now, I didn't eat since just being in Chicago. I at least ate at least three different ways. Like at one time, I was eating couscous, since I haven't been eating couscous now, I don't know how long. Right now, I'm on like red cabbage. I just go through my things, and then it changes. It just next thing you know, you got four or five other different things you exchange, and then boom, it's four or five different things you exchange. It's real amazing. Just naturally, you just change. You drink something different. You eating different. If you just be plant based and be natural, you will naturally change. Trust me, just on your own, without even thinking about it. You will not keep the same regimen. Do I have a favorite? No, because I've been doing it too long. Nope. I've been, I was in Hawaii drinking coconut water fresh off tree. I can't get that now, but I was in LA. I was eating Jahoti and burger burgers, and I'm here. I don't really got no favorite, not that I know of. It changed too much. Like right now, what I'm eating right now is new. I'm eating, like I just started back eating tofu, so I'm eating a whole thing of tofu. Brussels sprouts might be in there, cabbage. I'm trying to do the red cabbage. I'll do the green cabbage. I'm doing any type of green leafy vegetable I see look good. Like I don't got no. This is kind of new. I've only been doing this recently. When I found out that tofu don't have estrogen, it's got phytoestrogen. And once I found out they was lying and it had phytoestrogen, I said, "Oh man, you know what I mean?" They told me all this time this stuff have estrogen and make you feminine, and they was lying. So I say over the last 2 months, I've been doing heavy tofu because I'm working out. I'm trying to build this muscle. I found out they was lying about tofu, saying it had estrogen, and I seen the black doctor, and he said no, it's got phytoestrogen. I was like, oh man, what? So I've been back on that because I'm trying to build muscle. And I haven't eaten tofu. I stopped eating tofu years ago when they said it had estrogen. They didn't tell me that phytoestrogen, and phytoestrogen regulates estrogen. So if tofu got estrogen in it and the phytoestrogen, if a woman eat it, the phytoestrogen will regulate the estrogen for the woman. And if a man eat it, the phytoestrogen will regulate it for a man. Real talk. Look it up. I kid you not. So over the last 2 months, I've been back trying to load up on that because I'm trying to do some like something. I'm trying to do some Superman stuff. So I'm on something right now. See, I'm on some Superman type stuff right now. I'm trying to see if I could at 67, I'm trying to see if I could totally resculpture my body. You know what I'm saying? So my sleep been a little messed up because I'm trying to really work my social media and I'm trying to lift these weights and go to the gym. So my sleep been all over the place, but I'm getting there. I was wondering because I kept seeing these brothers, right, winning all these awards for bodybuilding. So when I see these brothers winning these awards for bodybuilders, I go look to see what they eat. And they like eating mad tofu. So I'm like, wait a minute. They told me the tofu gonna make you grow breasts and make you be like a woman. Well, why these dudes jack like that off of tofu? And then I think the black doctor that broke it down. And I said, oh man, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? They've been lying this whole time, man, telling me the wrong stuff. Because these brothers eating mad tofu. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And they breaking all kind of records. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody lying. And sure enough, sure enough. So I'm back on the tofu heavy. I'm trying to be on some Superman. You know what I'm saying? And that's so, but that'll change too. You know, I just don't never know what. I never know what direction I'm going in because I've been doing it for so long. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this so long. You know what I mean? But right now I'm on some Superman stuff. Right now. You know what I'm saying? Check it.
Testosterone. There's this myth, isn't there, that, the age of the soy boy, if you go vegan, your testosterone will plummet. Is there any credibility to that claim?
My answer is this. I say, look, if soya reduces fertility and testosterone, let's think about the country that eats and consumes the most soya. That is by far China. What's the population of China? Well, they've got 1.5 billion people. The truth is, soya and things like that, they have these things called phytoestrogens. They're not estrogen, they are phytoestrogen. They look like estrogen. So whereas estrogen kind of feminizes us and makes us grow more, phytoestrogen binds to those receptors and blocks them. That's why we use them in things like tamoxifen, which is an anti-cancer, breast cancer drug. So the more of the phytoestrogens you have, the less estrogen effects you're going to have in your body. You actually become more male and more virile than if you didn't have them. It's just not true that soya diminishes your testosterone and your masculinity. It's completely the reverse.
See what I'm saying? So once I seen that, I was like, oh, nobody never told us about phytoestrogen. Why we didn't know that? You know, why we didn't know. So I'll say, oh, this is why dude was jacked like that. Because of the phytoestrogen. Okay. See, the knowledge is growing, so you got to stay up on it. So right now, I'm eating muscle. I'm just eating strictly for muscle. I'm still eating other things too for the all around health, but I'm eating heavy for muscle. So it's like every time I find out something gonna give me more, like arugula, I'm going to the store in a couple of days. I'm gonna get that. Every time I find out anything that's going to add to the muscle building and to the strength, I'm adding that in right now. Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. Because I'm trying to like resculpture my body. And this is a big year for me. I got to really make some serious gains by February, my birthday, February 22nd. I got to make some serious gains. For 3 years, I just been trying to go slow. I didn't want to hurt myself as an older person. So every year had a certain mission. The first year, 3 years ago, I just wanted to get my heart used to riding a bike, punching the bag, walking first. Then the second year, I wanted to get my heart even more ready and start burning some fat and start doing like a calisthenic and stuff like that every year. Now after 3 years, I'm on my fourth year now. So now I ain't got to worry about my heart. I already been walking stairs. A lot of y'all been watching me. I already been doing the body sculpture challenge. So now this year, I'm going for straight muscle. This is the year where I make the final sculpture by February and then continue it that next year to really get it chiseled. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to definitely have me some abs showing by February. So like I got a mat, I'm about to hit the ground and do these calisthenics. Y'all know that stuff ain't fun. You know what I'm saying? I got like a workout I'll be doing. Let me see if it's got music. If not, I'll play it for you. Hold on. No, it ain't got. Let me send it to myself and show it to you. I do this in the morning before I eat. I do this in the morning before I eat. I'm supposed to do it every morning. Last week I didn't do it because I was up working on. I be working, so sometimes I miss my exercise because I be working. I'm a businessman. I work for myself, and I might work all night to the next morning. I might go live all night to the next morning. I can't work out. I can't do that and work out. But this is something that this is something I've been doing. I did it this morning. I got to do it all week. You might want to go back and copy this. You might want to go back and copy this when I get finished, right? So I'm doing this every morning before I put anything, before I eat anything. Check it out.
You can do 100 cross-knee lifts on an empty stomach every morning, then you won't have any flab on the sides of your waist. If you can do 100 under the...
I can't show it because they got music. Hold on. Let me get rid of the music. Let me get rid of the music. I can't do the music. You know, they funny acting. Let me get rid of the music. Hopefully it won't show up. Let me get rid of the music, then you could just see it. Good thing I know how to do all this stuff. All right. Let me get rid of the music and then I'll show it to you. I'll go back and edit that part out because they be acting funny and they be like, oh, you use somebody else's stuff. It's like, okay, whatever. Y'all being a little too petty. All right, here we go. So that's what I've been doing recently. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm 67. I'm gonna be 68 in February. If you want to live, you better act like it. That's all I can tell you. You want to live, act like you want to live. If you don't care, then act like you don't care. And nothing is guaranteed, right? Because people be like, nothing is guaranteed. But some things are guaranteed. You definitely guaranteed to get sick if you don't take care of yourself. That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. If you don't take care of yourself, that's guaranteed. That is absolutely guaranteed. But this is the workout I'm doing. 100 of each one. A 100 of each one. All right. Now, sometime when I get to the last one, I'll be too tired because you're really not supposed to do 100 straight. You're supposed to be do 20 reps, 5 sets of 20 reps. But because I'm not in shape for that, I'm pushing myself. So I'm just doing 100 straight. By the time I get to the last one, I'll be doing like 50. But I'm going to keep going until I can do all 500. Once I can do 500 straight, and I do that 2 or 3 times, then I'm going to start doing 20 reps. 5 sets of that one, that one, that one. But to get myself in shape, I'm just doing 100 of the first one, rest, 100 of the second one, rest, 100 of the third one, rest, like that. I'm going to show it to you one more time. You might want to save this. And if you do that a couple of days, you're going to feel it. You're going to definitely feel it. You're going to feel all in your abs, all in your sides, all in your legs, all in your arms, because you're doing this. You're doing this. You constantly taking your arm out, and you're using all the muscles. You got to do it before you eat anything. Before you eat anything. So that's where my journey is at right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's causing me to eat in a way that's going to get me there. You know what I'm saying? Now, these are food that's good for your brain right here. These blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, bananas, olives, cherries, grapes, kiwi, pomegranate, and avocado. This is healthy brain food. Here's some other healthy brain food right here. Shout out to Regeneration, the Regeneration Center. Much respect to them. Much respect to the Regeneration Center. You know what I'm saying? For providing this information. You know what I'm saying? So we can keep ourselves together, keep ourselves in shape. And I'll be appreciating that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be appreciating that from all these various people that put this information out there. That's so that we can try to, have some type of way to keep ourselves, in shape. You know what I'm saying? We have to have something to keep us in shape, something to motivate us to keep us in shape. Because what happens with the body, like if you don't really use the body, you just won't be in shape. You know what I'm saying? If you don't use the body and you just let muscles sit there for a long period of time, then your body just won't work anymore. What's going on, 5-star? Salute, salute. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you're just going to be out of here. You know what I'm saying? And these people, they just trying to make money. You say, there's fewer people too. No, this is a new channel, bro. The other channel was many, many years old. So no, not fewer people tune in. The other channel, bro, I've been doing before my father passed away. I've been doing that channel, 10 years? I don't know how long. This is a new channel, bro. So for those out there that's content creators, understand you got to build these channels. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to build the channel. Like you have to work your channel and build it. It's not just people they're not gonna just come. You have to build it. You know what I'm saying? It takes a while. And then this channel is going to be built with a different audience than the other channel. So it's not going to be the same audience. It's going to be a different audience. This is going to be a more multicultural audience. This is going to be a more international audience. This is going to be a more health-oriented audience, or a lot of people that's having medical conditions. So this is a total different audience, this channel. So you have to build that audience and you have to record regularly to get in the algorithm for it to start sending it out to more and more people for it to grow. And then people got to find out you here. But this channel is doing really great to be this new. It's doing really well. But it's really going to really take off because I'm going to be doing these interviews with these plant-based doctors. Matter of fact, I got my first interview coming up Friday with a brother. I ain't going to say nothing about who it is, but I got one coming up Friday. It's going to be very interesting. So you got to work it. You don't work, you don't eat. I just got my super chat. You got to have so many thousands of hours of views and so many subscribers. I still don't have enough, one of them, for my commercials to run yet. That's why you haven't been seeing any commercials. You got to you got to work. It's a real job. You want to be a content creator, it's a real job. But this channel will be bigger than my other channel by far. It's going to dwarf the other channel. Ain't no doubt about that. For sure. Because health issues are something really serious. People are really needing to focus on their health. People are really needing that inspiration to take a walk, to exercise. And we work in these jobs where we sit down a lot of hours. You know what I'm saying? So many people are sick. So many people is on dialysis. So many people getting amputations. So many of their relatives is passing away because we're at that next generation from still eating this food. So whereas my parents' generation, people lived to 190, me coming up now, my parents didn't live to 190. My daddy passed away in his 80s. My mother passed away in her 70s. Now, this next generation, y'all passing away in y'all 60s, 67, 50s, 40s, and 30s, passing away. So it's not going to be long for people to say, okay, this is a 911. It won't be that long. But people be like, oh, this is a 911. We have to turn this around. We have to get the age where we pass away to go back up 70, 80, 90, 100. We gotta turn the ship around. Because the children, 1 out of 3 children got prediabetes. 1 out of 3 adults got prediabetes. And we have to turn this around. If we don't, it's going to be a disaster. We have to turn it around. And there's been so much damages on our bodies that those of us, even though if we change the way we eat, we still got pre-damage. It still ain't guaranteed. But it's a situation where the whole society is so lost, it's misleading our children. So even people like me that's plant-based and stuff, my children and the young people and cousins and stuff, they caught up into the world that the majority of y'all are still promoting that world. And so they don't want to be the eyeballs out because y'all made it cool to not take care of yourself. It's the cool thing to do. Party, drink, have sex with strangers. So STDs, y'all making it cool. Eating garbage, y'all making it cool. Y'all call it fun. And so now people is having fun and passing away earlier and not really having fun. Because you made it cool to not take care of yourself. You just play too much to your own detriment. You drink and you play to your own detriment. And you don't realize you should have did better till you're on your deathbed. By the time you realize you should have did better, you're out of here. Your kidney gone. You're on dialysis for 6 years, which you might not make it or you might not find a replacement that take. So by the time you wake up, you've already damaged yourself and then you've led everybody else to hell with you. Basically. That's where we at right now. So I'm trying to help the ones I can help. Like I said, I'm 67. And when I sit around, I don't even like asking about my childhood friends because I get the same thing. Oh, she been dead. Oh, he been dead. Oh, he's sick. Oh, she been dead. Oh, she died from cancer. I don't even like asking no more. it, how I'm 67 and how my friends been dead in their 40s and 50s. That's unbelievable. When I was a child, people wasn't passing away like that. They was living a long time. And my parents dropped out. My mother passed away before her mother. My mother's grandmother lived to 117, and my mother lived to her 70s. Think about it, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100. My mother's grandmother lived 40, 45 years, almost 50 years longer than my mama. Like 50 years longer. My mama's daddy lived like 20 something years longer than my mother. And my mother's mother, my grandmother, was still alive when my mother passed away. What y'all think about that? You think that's funny? That's like what? How much proof you need? How much proof you need? Why you need so much for you to take care of yourself? You know why? Because there's nothing ain't serious so serious. You might not have the mindset like a lot of young brothers in the street. They don't have the mindset to see themselves in the penitentiary. So when you tell them to chill out, right? They don't chill out, and then they end up in the penitentiary. For some reason, people cannot see where they're going. They like don't take it serious, think it's like a joke till it happens. That's why you see so many young brothers cry in court when the judge give them 20 years, judge give them 50 years, then they cry. And it's like, shorty, people been telling you finna do 20 and 50. And you like blew it off. Like, what's wrong with you? Well, you can't process that. You gotta wait until it happened. You gotta wait until your side hurting and it just, you try to blow it off and go to work and do what you do, then it keep hurting, deep hurting, and finally one day you can't function, you go to the hospital, they say, oh, your kidney gone. We got to take it out. You got to go to dialysis 3 times a week. And you had to wait to do that? You had to be like this?
Now, I'm coming to you live right now because I've been trying to shoot a documentary up here at my dialysis clinic to try to educate people how many people kidneys gone, how many people in a situation because they don't know how to eat right. Like me, I grew up a daddy's boy. I ate what I wanted to eat as a kid, man, and now I'm paying for it. You know, so all you people who let your kids eat what they want, that candy and sweets and all that, they gonna pay for that one day. See, when you young, your body can take it. But you gonna pay for that one. I promise you on everything. All that drink you drink. And people about what I used to do, you know what I mean? They see me doing shit and they bring shit up, they talking. He losing weight. For all my loved ones, I'm doing what this doctor tell me. My bro died today because he didn't want to do what them folks said, man. Go to the doctor, man, and do what them folks tell you. I don't care how much you done been taught the doctor try to kill you. You killing yourself by what you eat, man. I got kidney failure now, and I must say, I'm with a dietitian 3 days a week. My blood getting took 2 days a week, and I got people talking down about I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Look at my damn arm. Is that regular to you? Look at that shit. I don't know if you can see it. Look at this. I'm showing y'all today. I ain't never opened up like this, but I lost my partner, so I'm showing y'all. I'm finna go in here and get 2 needles about 2 inches long, a piece, at the same time. If I don't do it, I'll be dead in a week. My homeboy had many close calls for the doctor, but he told me every time, the good man seen me through, B. He said, it ain't my time. Well, it was your time today, brother. And it touched me so bad, I'm finna be late talking now. It touched me so bad because you get so personal and you talk to people who keep surviving the close calls. Surviving close calls. But didn't want to follow through with everything. Thinking the white man trying to kill him. Man, you kill yourself, bro. Now I'm finna go in here. I don't know what I'm risking finna show y'all this. But I'm finna show my people what they don't want y'all to see.
Now imagine getting 2 long needles in your arm 3 times a week. One of them is taking your blood out, running it through a machine, and the other one was putting the fresh blood back in. Your arm's extremely sore. You feeling lethargic and everything. You go home, it's Monday. Imagine Tuesday you get up, you feeling a little better. But imagine when you go to bed Tuesday thinking you got to get up Wednesday and go back in there and do that again. Then you come in, you don't feel good again Wednesday. You feel a little better Thursday, but when you go to bed, imagine you got to go back in there again. And you got to do that 3 times a week. And if you don't clean, because you don't have no kidney to clean your blood, because you was an alcoholic, you thought it was funny, you didn't take care of yourself, and now you need a machine for your kidney, and you got to wait for somebody to find a kidney for you to get a kidney. And then you got to hope that your body takes that kidney. And some people have to wait up to 6 years. Some people pass away before they get up high enough on the list to get the kidney. Now, think about the mentality you got, especially if you watch me and you see that, and you go right back to doing the same thing. And it's going to get to the point where if the system get overloaded, they're going to be like, listen, man, we cannot keep taking care of you when you didn't want to take care of yourself. How much effort do you want the system to put into you when you basically committed suicide? How much money should the system put into you? Why should somebody really put a lot into somebody that they ain't put nothing into themselves? You don't care. So if you don't care, make your mind up. Make your mind up. Do you care or don't you? Make your mind up. Look, I'll show you another one. I can show you a bunch of these. And just look at these people and look what they're going through.
I'm here at dialysis. I'm almost finished. Got about 30 minutes left, and then I got to try to get home. Hope everybody's having a great morning, a fantastic Monday. For those of you guys just tuning in, I suffer from kidney failure, COPD, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, and diabetes. I make these videos to show people that even with all you got going on health-wise, you can still push through and try to make it. I'm waiting on my kidney pancreas transplant so I can get some of my health back, and I hope that goes swimmingly. I'm back home from dialysis. This morning was kind of crazy. I got real nauseous and dizzy towards the end. I was out of it. I didn't know where I was. I kind of gathered myself back and realized I was still at dialysis, and I was able to call for the nurse. They called for 911, and by the time they got there, I was slowly back to feeling well, but it was real crazy. I never felt like that before. I almost passed out, and I was just feeling real sick. I thought I was just going to throw up. But like I said, I started feeling better after a while. I'm still kind of weak. But I'm just hanging out at home. I just had lunch, so hopefully I'll be feeling a little better in a little while.
Now, come on, man. Nowadays, with TikTok and all that showing you this type of stuff, I mean, come on. Come on. What more do you need? What more do you need? What more do you need? You tell me. Just keep it real. It's all right there now. There's no excuses. I mean, it get to a point you just don't care. All right, check it out.
So a lot of you guys have been asking what dialysis is like. Well, long story short, it fucking blows. It's not fun at all. It's so draining. Like it's one of those things that no matter how much explaining I do, you'll never really truly understand what it's like until you've done it. And I do not wish that upon anybody because it sucks. But I mean, you're hooked up to a machine, an artificial kidney that is filtering your blood for like 3 or 4 hours, right? So you can probably imagine that's not fun exactly. If you've ever given blood or know someone who's given blood and they've explained it to you a little bit, it's kind of like that times like 1,000. Because the idea is like, sure, they're taking blood, but they're filtering it through the artificial kidney and then returning it to you, right? And it has to do all the blood in your whole system. And that takes a long time. So that's why you usually have to run like 3 or 4 hours, right? And it's so draining. It's, first of all, it also takes a lot of water weight off of you. That's like one of the main things it does, right? You go in at a certain weight, and then they try to get you to what's called your dry weight. So like when I went in today, I was 66.5 kilograms, and my dry weight is 63.5 kilograms. So that's 3 kilograms, which is about like 6 or so pounds, a little more than 6 pounds. So across that 4 hours, I'm losing 6 pounds of water weight. That's what it is. It's like liquid weight. It's excess fluid that is like on my body because my kidneys are not doing their job, right? So that's like one of the main things that dialysis does. And you can imagine like losing 6, 7, 8 pounds in like 3, 4 hours. Like that's a lot, right? And it makes you feel lighter, but like almost more hollow. Like that's a good way to just explain how you feel afterwards. You feel like you've literally just been drained, like a vampire has just like sucked half of your blood out. And it kind of has, it just like gave it back, right? But you literally feel so drained and like kind of hollowed out. It's like, good might not be the right word for it, but it's better than the like, I don't know, just like overbearing feeling of just like having a lot of excess fluid on you and just like being chunky. Because like I'll try to show a video, but like right now I just got off of dialysis, right? Like I'm looking pretty like, I don't know, like slim, I guess. And I'm a skinny person, but I'll try to show on Sunday like that, because that's the longest stretch I go without dialysis. On Sunday, I'm like more chunky. You can see it in my face, in my wrist. Like right here, I can easily do that. I got a lot of wiggle room to like move my watch and everything, stuff like that. This is my dog, Tally. Say hi. But on Sunday, when I'm all chunked up, like it's probably very minimal to the eye, but feeling wise, I feel majorly just like heavy. So the opposite side of that, after dialysis, you feel really light, but again, it's sort of like a hollow light. Like you feel like you've been hollowed out. And that's like, it's so tiring. All that liquid and fluid being taken off can make you way more susceptible to cramps. And if you sneeze while like super dry after a bunch of fluid has been taken off of you. At least in my experience, sneezing, man, that can like lock up my abs and my stomach, and like, oh my gosh, that's one of the worst pains, like from dialysis and everything. It feels like my insides are being like wringed out. But like I said, long story short, dialysis is not fun. It's very tiring. It's very just draining. But weirdly, I always, even though like physically I'm like drained, mentally I'm like pumped, because I'm just like, I'm like renewed, rejuvenated, in a sense of like, okay, I'm good. Like they just reset me. Like I now don't have to worry about dialysis for as long as until I have my next dialysis, right? So that's like a nice feeling. But yeah, dialysis, it sucks.
See what I'm saying? All I'm trying to do, I feel like if I show people this, I like prevent people from waiting and finding out, because I don't believe a lot of people know that health situations end up that bad. So this is my way to kind of psychologically get you to go through it at first. So then you think, okay, I can't go like that. Okay, I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no age to it, because your kidney is your kidney, Derek. And if you abuse your kidney is gonna go out when it's gonna go out. Your kidney don't really care how old you are. How much sodas did you drink? How much? And then everybody's different. So everybody's different. So, you know, if you coming up, maybe he ate a whole lot of candy when he was young. Maybe he had a whole lot of sugar when he was young. Maybe he wasn't aware on what he was doing. Because it's like your kidney and your body parts is like separate from your body. So yeah, you think of my age, you think of 67, and you think, okay, 67 lived to 80 and stuff, but 67 here has nothing to do with colon cancer, has nothing to do with rectal cancer, has nothing to do with dialysis and kidney failure, has nothing to do with a stroke, has nothing to do with a heart attack, has nothing to do with prostate cancer, and different parts on your body where you didn't destroy different parts on your body. And this is the thing people understand. We think in terms of the whole body living a certain age, and we're not thinking about each individual organ and how you have to take care of these organs. So, Derek, look at it like a car or a truck. Yeah, you got a brand new truck. It's only 4 years old, but that ain't got nothing to do with the tires, right, bro? That ain't got nothing to do with the tires. The tire's not going to last just because your truck is new. And if you slamming it in and out of gear and stuff, your transmission's still going to tear up. It don't matter how new the truck is if you ain't taking care of the trans. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Derek, you got a brand new truck, but you don't know how to drive. You destroy the trans. And then you thinking, well, dang, man, this is a new truck. That ain't got nothing to do with the trans. That ain't got nothing to do with the engine. That ain't got nothing to do with the carburetor and all that. That ain't got nothing to do with the battery, the tires, the windshield. Like, it's a truck. It's a lot of stuff on there. And you have to really take care of the whole truck or the whole car. You got to change the oil. You got to put antifreeze in it. You got to put transmission fluid in it. I don't care how new it is. If you ain't putting no transmission fluid in it, you could ruin the transmission in the car, the truck. Your trans is gone. You're driving and it just starts slipping. And it ain't moving. And you going, and it ain't moving. Trans gone. You ain't put no transmission fluid in it. So I don't know what make us think our body don't need transmission fluid, oil, lubrication, antifreeze, same thing. We got to have water. We got to have transmission fluid. We got to have antifreeze. We got to have oil. Our body got to be taken care of, all the parts. If you don't take care of your eyes, you won't be able to see. If you don't take care of your teeth, how you going to eat? All your teeth done fell out. So it's like people don't understand, yeah, you're supposed to live a certain point, but if you don't take care of all the parts in your body, how you going to do that? And this food and these liquids on this planet that's naturally here are here to take care of your body. These beets and cabbage and collard greens and oranges and tomatoes and all this various stuff takes care of various parts of the body. That's why we got so many fruits and vegetables, herbs and seeds and nuts and grains. Because it treats different parts of the body. The brain got to be taken care of. Then if you're eating things got a lot of parasites in it, you're eating creatures because, okay, we're creatures, right? We're people, so we're like a creature. And we get parasites. And we have to do parasite cleanses. What make you think cows ain't got parasites? The dogs and cats run all over your house ain't got parasites. The fish ain't got parasites. The chickens you eating ain't got parasites. What make you think they don't got parasites? So if you ain't doing a parasite cleanse yourself, and you eating these animals that ain't getting no parasite cleanse necessarily, they might be getting shots, maybe, but who knows how it's getting treated in the factory. All these things got to be taken into consideration. You got to take care of your body. Now, when you eat an animal, you got to take care of your body and the animal's body. You got two bodies in you. So let's say I get up Monday, I eat some ham and I eat some ham and I eat some beef. So I ate one pig and I ain't no telling how many pigs I ate, because if I got slices of ham, it could have came from different pigs. So that could easily be 2 pigs. If I'm eating some type of beef, that could be 3 or 4 cows. You ain't necessarily, when you got chopped beef, you ain't necessarily chopped from the same cow. Could be, could not be. So by the end of the week is over, how many various animal parts do you have in you? Okay, what was the health of these animals? You don't know. How clean is the place where they had this stuff? You don't know. That's why we wash our fruit. That's why we soak our fruit. That's why we like stuff like watermelon, bananas, where the stuff we eat is inside of something. So we know ain't nothing in the inside of the watermelon. We know the outside might be dirty. We wash that off. We know that the nut is inside of a shell that protects the nut, so we know it probably ain't nothing in the nut. If it's an apple, we're gonna see a hole in it if a worm went in it. But if we don't see nowhere for it to clean in, it might be around the stem. That's why we wash it. That's why we clean. That's why we might put some vinegar on or soak it in some baking soda and vinegar. So we can kind of see, you can see a banana and see ain't nothing poke no holes in this banana. It's got a cover on it. But when you get a steak, ain't no cover on it. They try to put it in a bag or something, but I mean, naturally, it's been out in the elements. You know, it takes us a fly to land on it and boo-boo on it and then before it get packaged. And there's maggots in it. That's all it takes. This is why we hate flies. You out at the barbecue in the fly land, what you don't understand is he might have dropped some babies on your stuff. Real talk. Like when you grow in a garden and a moth land on one of your plants, that moth drop eggs in your plant. You come back 2 days, there's babies in there that ate the whole top of the plant off. That's why we have our plants inside like tents a lot of times where you can see through so that we ain't got to worry about moths dropping eggs on our broccoli and all of this. So it's really, you got to work to stay alive. It's not a joke. And you have to eat things that's going to constantly keep your intestines going, keep your colon clean, right? You got to take care of your liver. You got to take care of your kidneys. You know what I'm saying? If you drinking, then you disrespectful because your kidneys got to clean this stuff out. That's why a lot of people, they don't do protein powders every day because your kidneys got to clean that. So if that protein powder need to be clean where the kidneys ain't got to do a lot of work, but if you got a lot of trash in there, your kidneys got to clean all this weight. You can have kidney failure like that. You have to take time to just put water in your kidneys and let your kidneys chill out. You can't be having your kidneys constantly filtering alcohol, but you never think that your kidneys got to clean this alcohol. You just drinking and think it's a joke. You just eating all these sweets, think it's a joke. You don't know your kidneys got to clean all that soda and all that stuff. Your kidney got to do that. And nobody teach us this in school. We need to be teaching this in school to the kids. This should be a part of their little science class. They could be learning that little. 2nd grade, 3rd grade, they should be learning this a kidney. That soda and stuff you're drinking, they got to go through here and get clean. You don't have to go in details. You can tell them the basics, so at least they know. At least they know they pouring that stuff. You pouring that into your kidney. It's not just going into your body. You thinking it's going to your body. No, that's going into your stomach. That's going into your kidney. Once you know that, now you're thinking, oh, okay, I can't dump all this stuff into my stomach. Can my stomach clean this stuff? This is serious. So that's why I started this channel. You know, we're going to save some lives. We're going to save some lives. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing no games. We're not playing no games. We're going to save some lives over here. We're going to help show people something that they're not telling you. Because I've been plant-based now for 47 years, and I didn't even know this stuff. All I knew was to take care of myself and eat right. But I had no idea the details like that until I started going live and had to explain to everybody else. And that's when I said, dang, even I learned. So I was taking care of myself by default, just because it seemed like it made some sense. I didn't actually know that my colon was 20 feet long. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know my colon was 20 feet long. I would have known I can't get no steak through there. That don't even look like I can get no steak through there. The only way I can get some steak through there is I need some greens and vegetables and stuff to lubricate that steak to get through there. I can't eat no steak and potatoes. I cannot eat no burger, bread, and fries. Is not going to go through there. How? 20 feet of intestines, it's going to get stuck in there. It ain't got no lubricant. How am I going to get bread and meat and potato and french fries? You know what I'm saying? I sure would have been, hey, man, I ain't going to tell y'all no lie. I would have been out of here. Because my parents and them is the ones eat corn on the cob and stuff. I'm the generation, I ain't want no, I want burgers and fries. I throw the coleslaw out the window. I would be sick as a dog. If whatever it is you want to call it, God or whatever, it didn't touch me and have me change the way I ate when I was 20 years old, I probably would have been unalived already because I didn't eat no vegetables. Facts. Because I'm like I'm the city generation. My mama and them from Alabama. I'm from Chicago. I don't want no collard greens. I want Italian sausage, boy. I want steak sandwich. I want Harold's chicken. Boy, I want no vegetables. I want meat and bread and fries and a soda, a big ass one with a lot of sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? I would be out of here. Ain't no way I'd be healthy. Ain't no way. I wouldn't eat no vegetables. When I went vegan, my mother and them, that was the big joke in the family. You don't eat no meat and you eat a whole bunch of vegetables, you wouldn't touch a vegetable. And you ate up all the meat. Ain't no way. I really believe if I didn't change, I really believe I'd be sick or gone. Ain't no way. And I was a go-getter and I was out here, I would have ate all the new meat stuff. A lot of it. I would not be still slim like this. I would have started getting round like my daddy got. My daddy used to be like this. He ended up getting round. That stuff, you are what you eat. And when you eat these big old round cows and pigs, your face and everything starts changing. My daddy was more like this when he was young. Then he was eating all that stuff. His face got round. Then when he got older, when I first got alive, I was taking care of him. He had all them worms and stuff in him, whatever it was. He was slowly deteriorating. His face got right back slim, which proved my point. When he passed away, his face was right back slim. That's a fact. From a round face. Now, how your head get big and then get back slim? Because of stuff you eating. How your head get round and get back slim? Think about it. How? How my daddy head was round. When we was real little, it wasn't that bad. It was closer. By the time he got in his 40s, his face was like this. By the time he got back to his 80s and sick, his face was back like that. Now, how? Most people think that's bone. That's not bone. That's all fat. That's all fat. That's all fat. That's not bone. They have us thinking that's bone. See what I'm saying? We have to study this stuff before we find out, are you kidding me? You know, you study this stuff and you say, are you kidding me? Because until I started talking to the audience, I had no idea. I thought that when you was overweight, I thought you was big boned. I really thought your bones was bigger. It's not till I started teaching over here and had to do the research, I found out your bones are the same size. I'm like, are you kidding me? You telling me our bones is the same size? I couldn't believe it. I would have bet that your bone is bigger on your wrist. It looked like they wrist bigger, don't it? No. Look at the wrist. How many people know that your wrist ain't really bigger? That's all like from the stuff you eating that's doing that. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Everybody think you big boned it. We be like, you big boned it. So no wonder they got to have knee replacement, hip replacement. You carrying all that on that same skeleton. Nobody knows none of this. Feel me? I hope y'all waking up and listening. Eat right. Take care of yourself. Take care of your brain. Take care of your mind. Eat food that's going to take care of your brain, going to take care of your heart, going to take care of your spleen, your kidney, your liver, all your organs, your veins, your eyes. Brush your teeth. Take care of your teeth. Seriously. Health is wealth, so you got to take care of yourself. Real talk. I hope y'all learn from this. Don't be messing around. Listen and learn. Eat right. Take care of yourself. Eat to live. Go vegan and victory.